On the bus or on the Met, you're in transit on CJAD 800.
Has your car been stolen over the last few years? Would love to hear about it. Send me a text message at 514-790-0800. Reading some notes before about the owners of Lexus vehicles and Acuras and a Cadillac Escalade, all getting stolen in recent years. Now, attention all drivers, the list of most stolen vehicles in the country has been released. There's a new number one. Équité Association says the amount of auto thefts continues to be on the decline. So there's a decrease, but losses due to auto theft still reached over $1 billion. Let's go to Bryan Gast now, VP of Investigative Services over at Équité Association. Hi, Bryan. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me again.
Okay, so you compile this list here, most stolen vehicles of 2024. We could look at both Canada and Quebec here, obviously for our listeners. What are the trends? What do you see? What are the things that are common here when you look at this top 10 list?
Yeah, the commonalities really are the focus on the SUVs and pickup trucks dominates the top 10. And in Quebec, it's the number one is the Toyota RAV4, and Canada-wide, it's the Toyota RAV4. So there's a lot of similarities, but again, it's the SUVs that really dominate, and that really reflects what organized crime is seeking for their demand from their overseas counterparts.
Looking at your figures here and your top 10 list, there's a few things that you rank, right? Because what's important is if you've got a popular vehicle, chances are there's going to be more stolen cars of a car that sells in heavy volume, right? So
yes.
What about that side of things, right? Because one of the most important parts that I'm seeing in your charts, the top 10 that you've released, is the theft rate / the theft rate frequency, the percentage. What does that say about just how stealable? I don't know if that's a word or not, but how often a car gets stolen?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. And the frequency list really shows the number of vehicles that are out there compared to how many are being stolen. And if the frequency is high, really just indicates that particular vehicles are being targeted. The Lexus TX series would be a good example of that. That tops the Canadian list at 14%. So 1 in 5 of those vehicles are being stolen across Canada. So, and the other commonality is the frequency in which vehicles are being stolen is really driven by the efficiency that's provided to owners, and that's the keyless entry. All of these vehicles are keyless entry, so technology thefts are really the dominant method of theft.
So is there something wrong with the technology? Because I have a car that has keyless entry. I just walk up, it knows my cell phone's there, and it's nowhere to be found. It's a top seller in the country. It's nowhere to be found, right, on these lists. Is there something beyond keyless entry? Is it bad keyless entry technology?
Yeah, and that's one of the things we're calling for. The current standards, this current security standard in Canada was first drafted in 1998, mandated by Transport Canada in 2007, and it hasn't been updated since. So it varies from manufacturer to manufacturer as to what extent they want to do to protect the security of their vehicles, but we're looking for a modernization of that standard.
I have a text from a listener here saying their Toyota RAV4 was stolen. This happened in March of 2023 in Lorraine, Quebec. They say they spotted me at the Centre Laval in front of HomeSense. I was in the store for an hour. It was a Monday evening. The next morning, my car was gone from the driveway. That is from Anna. Bryan, do you give, what type of advice do you give people here? Do you tell them, hey, buy less popular vehicles? Would you ever recommend that to someone? Do you tell someone, hey, buy a stick shift, a sedan stick shift? Nobody wants that. What do you tell people?
Yeah, and that's unfortunate if you can't buy the vehicle that you're really leaning towards. So we do call it a layered approach. There's things that you can do: park in a garage, park in a well-lit area, use a steering wheel lock, use an aftermarket immobilizer that protects against relay attacks, CAN bus attacks, and reprogramming attacks. Again, anything that you can do to make your vehicle less of a target, the better. That is an interesting message you got from your caller, the fact that it was seen in one area and stolen in the next day. So also be wary of people putting trackers on your own vehicle, waiting for you to go back to home to steal it in the darkness of night, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but it's something that's being done across Canada.
No, and of course, people casing vehicles, right? Like tracking a vehicle so they could steal it at a later time. We know that happens here. Now, Bryan, just on the top 10, right? Because we did mention a couple of commonalities here. But do you want to go down the list here? Anything just for our listeners who are driving in their cars right now? Who's on the list? What would you know about there?
Yes, in Quebec, number 1, Toyota RAV4, 2 is the Honda CR-V, 3 is the Honda Civic, 4 is the Jeep Wrangler, 5 is the Toyota Highlander, 6 is the Mazda CX-5, 7 is the Toyota Tucson, 8 is the Dodge Ram pickup, 9 is the Ford F-150 pickup, and 10 is the Toyota CHR.
And I know you're going down that list. The Hyundai Tucson, I think, is what you meant to say there on number 7.
Yeah.
So what should our listeners be doing here? I have a note from a listener saying, hey, I installed a hidden switch to cut the fuel pump off. Car won't go very far. What are you suggesting people? I know you said, you can park in a garage and that kind of stuff, but some people have to park on the street. They don't have those options. Well, what are the things they should be doing here?
Yeah, I mean, one of the best, until the vehicle itself's harder to steal, because that's the problem. $1 billion worth of vehicles being stolen, that means that's what these organized crime groups are after. It's a financially motivated crime, and they're after their money or after the vehicle, and they will go to many extents to get that. So how you can protect your vehicle, until the vehicle itself is harder to steal, and that's what we're pushing for, really the best way is some sort of an aftermarket immobilizer that basically renders the vehicle incapable of being stolen. And right now it seems to be the aftermarket solution that is the best option.
Bryan, anyone listening to you, by the way, any of the auto manufacturers listening to you on changing the technology for upcoming model years, anything that gives you hope there on that front?
Yeah, I mean, we do work with the manufacturers, and it's been a challenge for them. They've had other challenges in the last few months, but it's one that we'll continue to have conversations with the manufacturers, and not only within Canada, but globally, see what we can learn from other jurisdictions that have had success with making their vehicles harder to steal, and what measures they took to overcome some of the challenges that we're currently facing.
I mentioned off the top that the number of auto thefts is on the decline, but it seems like the number was so astronomical, it was so high, it's still a big problem. So what can you say on that end? Has enough been done to attack these car thefts and the people that perpetrate these car thefts at the source?
Yeah, you're right. It's still a very big problem. We're still not below the pre-COVID numbers, so we're still at very high numbers across Canada. There's been a lot of work done on the enforcement side, CBSA, Montreal Police, Sûreté, OPP, Ontario, Quebec, working together at the Port of Montreal with the CBSA. There's been a lot of great efforts there, but again, we're talking reactionary enforcement. We need to move to that preventative piece. And that's the biggest gap right now, is making that vehicle harder to steal in the first place. But collaboration and cooperation couldn't be higher than it has been over the last couple of years.
Bryan, thanks so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bryan Gast is VP of Investigative Services over at Équité Association. They tackle car theft in the country.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.